Hi everyone, welcome back to Art Abilities. This is week 5 and that takes us into March 10th of 2022. So let's look at our supplies for today. You should find a bag that says week 5 on it. And then inside we'll find a crown. So I think there were 2 different designs. So yours either will look like mine or look a little different. So everyone's got slightly different crowns. And then there's also a little bag that says week 5. There is a glitter glue pen. Everyone got a different color. And then a mixed assortment of stars and buttons and gemstones, little beads. So everyone got different things here, but you should have at least 1 or 2 sort of sparkly gemstones here. Some are in different shapes. So check out what you got. Those are the materials we provided for this week. Other materials you're going to need. You need your glue. And you're going to need, well, you have the option to use any of the paints that we've already used. So I grabbed my metallic paint from last week, but we also have all the different colors of paints we use. You can grab them. If you're going to paint, grab your paint brushes and then a glass of water to clean your brushes. Also going to need some paper towels. And again, we've been doing this just about every week. Protect the surface you're working on. So I've got grocery bags lining my table. You can use an old tablecloth, just something to protect the surface. And then if you need it, something to protect your clothes. So maybe a smock or a cooking apron that you don't mind getting paint on. So let me see. Oh, the last thing you'll need is a pen. So any kind of pen. Once you grab your materials, you can pause the video and come on back when you have them all ready.
Gather the supplies for week 5. Don't forget to grab your glue and something to protect your surface as well. Pause the video here and resume when you have all your supplies ready.
Now that you have all of your materials and everything set up, the first step is we're going to take our crown, which is probably pretty curled up right now because it's been in the bag. Just going to gently open it so you can see both ends. We're going to try to fit the crown to our head. So maybe watch first, and then you can go and look in a mirror and maybe have someone help you. We just want to fit it because if you look in the back, there's all these notches, and we're going to end up putting it in one of the notches. It's kind of like a belt to make sure it fits our head. So I'm going to try to set the crown where I want it on my head. So I want it to fit down just a little bit. And then I'm going to move it to the side here. I'm going to find where they touch. So for me, oh, messed up my hair. It might mess up your hair. That's okay. It went about the second notch in. So there's 1, 2. So wherever it kind of reached for you, mark it with a pen. So I marked that already, just right below and above it. And then you're going to also want to mark this, just making a line there. And I'll do that right now just to show you. It doesn't show up very well, but it did kind of make a mark. Whoops. There we go. So those places where we marked the pen, I'm not going to decorate from here out. And I'm not going to decorate from here out, just because any decorations would be covered up or messed up eventually. So pause the video, have someone help you if you need it. go look in a mirror and just see where you want your crown to fit. So, I mean, if you want it higher on your head or it's just resting on top, that's okay. It just won't stay on as well if you had it just down on your feet a little more. So you're welcome to make a tiny little crown if you want. That's okay. Then you would just make sure it's within the notches here. So the tiniest it can be is this last notch here. So we'll just make sure we don't decorate the notches in general. It's probably a good rule of thumb. All right, so pause the video, find what kind of fit you want and mark it with your pen, and then come back for the next step.
Step 1. Fit the crown to your head. Mark with a pen or a marker where it fits best. Pause the video here to complete this step.
All right, so step 2, we are going to prepare our crown for decorating. So mine is it's standing upright, so we want it flat. So I just want you to gently open it here. Try not to bend it anywhere. And I'm gonna I have some clothespins. I'm going to clip it to my garbage bag, or not my garbage bag, my grocery bag here. And then I'm just gonna flatten it a little more over here and try to clip it down. So you can also put something heavy like a notebook down here, or you can put you know, a cup or something. Like I could put my paint cup on one side. We just want it to lay flat so that we can work on it. Okay, so go figure out your setup so that it's nice and flat for you to work on. So you can pause the video here and then come on back.
Step 2. Lay the crown flat using something to weigh down both ends. Pause the video here while you get this ready.
On to step 3. Whoops, 3. So your crown should be laid nice and flat. Now is the fun part. We get to kind of plan out your design. So before we put anything down with glue or paint, I want you to just empty your baggie full of stuff on your table and just kind of play around with placing them on your crown. So maybe you want a bunch of stars. I definitely want to use my gemstones. So you can put a gemstone on a star. You know, and any of these wooden, if you have wooden stars or different shapes, they can be painted a different color. So just figure out if you want to, what you want to use first. So I have a lot of buttons. I've got some of these little square things. They're a little heavier, so they'll need some drying time if you use them. But just figuring out where you want to put things. So I think I'm going to want to paint underneath some of this before I put these down. But first I just want to see what I want to use. So I don't mind that. I kind of like having, because the tallest point, that's going to be the apex. So that'll be right above your forehead. So this is kind of the main attraction here. So kind of designing this area, and as it gets long over here, this part won't be seen as much. So just focusing here and play around, you know, start adding things, just see what you like. And then once you've figured out sort of a design idea, then you can set things aside. You can even take a picture of it first if you have a phone, and then you'll know what you wanted your design to look like. So once you know where you're kind of going with it, the next step is to move everything off your crown. And if you're planning on painting, we're gonna paint first. So my idea is to use my metallic blue here. And I think I'm gonna just, I'm gonna leave some of this gold. I like the gold. And I'm just gonna paint a little bit in the circles here so it looks like they're sapphires or something, just so it looks nice and sparkly. And also remembering you have these glitter pens, so we'll wait on these. If you're going to use glitter, that we'll do later. We're just going to do paint first. So the next step here is to just figure out how you want to decorate it, and then take a picture of any gemstones on your crown, take them off your crown, and now we're going to paint. So you can pause the video and play around with things and come back once your paint is dry. All right, have fun.
Step 3 is to plan your design. Take a photo to remember it. Paint the portions that you want to have painted and allow those to dry before going on to the next step. Pause the video here and resume when you're ready to move on.
It is time for step 4. So at this point, all of your paint is dry. And now we're ready to glue on our gems. So I'm going to move the camera so you can see. So I painted these little dots here. And then I also painted these little wooden stars. I painted them blue. And now I found where I want to glue things. So just lay them down and one at a time glue them. And then we're gonna let it all dry. So make sure you add a good amount of glue to this, to each piece, so that it will stick. So I'm just doing it one at a time. I'm gonna glue the back, put like about that much on. And then I put it back down and just press it until glue starts to come out of the sides. And that glue will eventually dry clear. So you don't have to worry about glue that is showing. I'm just taking my time, gluing everything right where I want it. So I've already placed everything down. There we go. So you might be using buttons or some of these little square things. They're little ceramic things. So it's whatever you decided to use. And then you just press it down until you start to see the glue. And have fun with it. You know, there's no wrong way to do it. Oops, I got a little glue on there. Okay, so now that my stuff is in place, I'm gonna let it dry. So pause the video, glue everything down that you want and let it dry. And then I'll see you for the next step.
Step 4, glue on your 3D materials, buttons, gems, or whatever else you have. Allow those to dry. Pause the video here and resume when you're ready.
All right, we are on to step 5 now. My glue is mostly dry. You can tell by just kind of trying to nudge it and it won't move. And the last step is to take our glitter pen, which everyone has a different color. Mine's pink. And just add decorations. So I'm gonna add some dots, I think. Let's see here. Add a little something here. Make them nice and big. This one a little bigger. Let's see. You could do circles around things. You could draw the lines, follow the line of the crown. Make lines there. So think about what you want to do and start making some glitter marks and then let it dry before you come back to the next step. All right, I'll see you at the next step.
Step 5 is to decorate with your glitter pen. Allow that to dry. Pause here and resume when you're ready.
Step 6, our final step. So your glitter glue should be dry. So take your crown, so it's not flat anymore, and we're going to put the little semicircle into the point where you measured. So there should be a little pen mark where you had it, and you're just gonna slide it in gently until when you pull apart it stays, okay? And then if this is the right size for you, you can even tape it on the inside so it stays even better. And then we just put it on our heads. And there you go, you've got a crown. So you can wear this crown whenever you want to feel special. So it could be your birthday, it could just be when you've accomplished something, or maybe if you're feeling down. So this is your special crown to do whatever you want with, and it's meant to celebrate you. So I hope you enjoy it. Please take a picture of you wearing your crown and send it to us. I can't wait to see what they look like. And I think that's it. So next week is going to be our last week. So make sure you save all the extra materials for just one more week. And I think that's it, you guys. It's been really fun. I hope you have a good week, and I can't wait to see your crowns. See you later.
Step 6. Put your crown together. Tape it on the inside to make it more stable. Wear your crown whenever you want to celebrate yourself. See you next week for our final installment of Virtual Art Abilities.